Hey, restaurant owners. Today, Jess and I are going to be talking about how to perfect your pre-shift lineups. And if you're not going to perfect them, at least make them much, much better. We'll start by talking about the difference between a monologue and a dialogue. Okay, so why should you shift from a monologue to a dialogue during your pre-shifts? Go ahead, Jess.
Um, because we want them to be engaged. We want them to be listening. They should be interactive. They should be questions. We should be asking them, what are some things they've noticed on the last shift? What is one thing you're going to work on today? What is one thing you're going to work on today? Um, I think monologues are back in the day. I think they tune out and they don't really pay attention. And I think we should be doing mock scenarios. I think we should be reading reviews. We just had a review recently come in for one of the stores, and it says the service was good, but kept getting interrupted in conversation with my friend. Some polite excuse me, just checking in on you would have been nice as well. So that is a perfect anti-restaurant launch review, right? So they were obtrusive. So I would discuss that in each pre-shift for 2 weeks. I would read that, leave the server's name off, obviously, and have a conversation with them. What does obtrusive service mean to you? What does obtrusive service mean to you? Who's gone out to eat recently and felt like they were interrupted 100 times? Like really start the conversation about the why. I think these pre-shifts that I'm noticing are just one note and they're just housekeeping and they're like, we're 86 this, we have this many covers, have a good shift. And they have to be a little bit deeper than that, in my opinion.
100%. Yeah, I've definitely noticed the team engagement goes up a lot, and then they're actually retaining the knowledge, especially when they're the ones saying it, because we're doing mock scenarios with them a lot of the times, and they're like actually telling us a menu description, or they're doing their opening greet with us. And one thing I noticed that's actually not on this slide down here, the team will prepare a lot better if they know they're going to have to interact during pre-shifts. So they
Hmm.
actually train themselves on, let's say, like the car ride into work. They're thinking about what they're going to say to their manager during pre-shift. Because when you do call on them during pre-shift and you ask them about a description of a certain menu item, they don't want to seem like they don't want to bomb it in front of the entire group of people watching them. Okay. So they're actually going to, that's how people learn the menu from us is actually, hey, we're going to go over it and we're going to do mocks during pre-shifts. Now they're actually rehearsing the lines, not only studying the menu, but rehearsing during the car ride in, which is cool.
Yeah, and we are implementing this to the stores we're working on, and they don't like it at first. And it takes a little bit of time, but we have to do the reps. We have to do it. We can't not do it. And I promise you, within 3 weeks, they just get used to it. And just like Brandon said, they are ready to be asked questions, and because that's just what we do now. Yeah, I'm playing, Oliver Martini. What do you say? Should I get the rainbow trout or the salmon? What do you say? My cards decline. What do you say? Um, where does the béarnaise sauce on the filet go? Is it on the side? Is it on a bed of it, or is it on top? What do you like? Really asking them questions in real time, how they would answer that if a guest asked.
Yep, 100%. Another thing is features, which is also specials, most of you probably call it. What I do with this is I actually have them do we call it planting seeds. I actually have them do their script to me during pre-shift. And if somebody's uncomfortable and they're not ready, let's say it's the first time you're doing this with the staff member, I say to them, hey, you're going to practice again in 5 minutes, me and you alone. Take 5 minutes, try it, rehearse it, and then come up to me when you're ready and you're going to kill it. Okay. And then what do you think they do for that 5 minutes? They go and look at the menu or they figure out their feature, they rehearse it in the bathroom, whatever, and then they come up to you and they either kill it or you might change one or two things and help them. Okay. And it becomes this like more of a coaching moment instead of this, you're in trouble if you don't do this.
Yeah, that's a huge shift. You have to start immediately. We are not quizzing you. This is the training. This is the continued education, is training in question form. So you do not learn by watching, you learn by doing. So they have to get used to answering these mock questions in pre-shift, but they're not being quizzed. And that's hard for people to um, shift that shiftiness, whatever, to make you understand that. Also, I think chefs should bring out the dish. I think they should bring out the sea bass if they can and talk about the sea bass and have the chef describe it. And then each person has to describe it back to me.
Yep.
Highly recommend bringing a dish out to pre-shift as well if you can.
Yep.
Tell
That's a
me about this
great
tuna
point.
burger. Tell me about the tuna burger. It's open face, right? Lettuce, tomato, pickles. What's ground sushi tuna? Now sell it to me. What does it come with? Like really
Mhm.
get them to describe the tuna burger back to you.
My favorite thing that Jess adds to everybody's descriptions or tells them to add to their descriptions is the actual ounces or the amount of things that are included in that dish. So instead of just saying it's salmon broiled, you're saying it's a 6 ounce salmon broiled served with this, and this. And to add to that, the descriptions have to be facts about the dish, not feelings. Okay, so there's no opinions, there's no fancy words in our descriptions. It's literally just 8 ounce ribeye, bone in, broiled, served with mashed potatoes.
Yeah, and once you know all of that stuff, then of course you can add on your flair and your cool words and your stories about
Right.
the dish. But first we have to know what the dish is, and we have to be able to describe it so succinctly that I can picture it. And words like, fresh or delectable or really popular doesn't make me picture it.
You do the, I know you do this. I'll have a martini mock with them a lot still.
Yeah, martini mock. I do my cards declined. A big mock I do is like, hey, I didn't order this with fries. I ordered it with vegetables and it came out with fries. What do they say? How are they telling people their cards declined?
Explain
Um,
the French fry thing. What should they say or
well,
do?
okay, so the common thing is the dish landed in the club sandwich landed and it had fries on it. And I ordered it specifically with vegetables. And every single time I do this mock, the server's great. I'll just bring you the vegetables on the house. Sorry about that. I'll bring you the vegetables on the house. I'm fine with that. But what I really want them to do is I might not want fries for a reason. So I want them to acknowledge, do you mind that the fries are on your plate? I would obviously bring you the vegetables, or I can replate it. Like really being incisive in this fact of what the mistake was,
Yeah. And
rather
giving
than
the
living.
guests the options.
Right, but also living in a world that most of the servers like, ooh, you get free fries, but that not might not be what I want. And I
Right. Clearly it
specific,
wasn't.
and it's also, how do I word this? It's not about the money. I think these servers are living from I would want it for free, but we're waiting on people that probably may make a ton more money than we do. I don't know.
hmm Sometimes. Sometimes that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like just go the extra mile and give the guest a bunch of options a lot of the times is what we how we fix a lot of things. Instead of just saying one thing, we actually just give the guest more options. The martini mock is great because if you say I'll take a martini, you didn't specify vodka, gin, or which type you wanted, so they should back question and ask you a bunch of questions to figure out what type of martini you actually want. You could also work on upselling with like, I'll take a vodka soda. What do you say? And see how they upsell vodka sodas. Um, for vodka soda, the upsell really should just be listing out options as well. List out some options of your vodka and let the guest pick from them. And you could leave off house as an option if you really want, of course. Okay. Depends on your establishment.
Um, and I went to a pre-shift recently and it was too serious. And the chef was kind of mean.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I want you guys to understand for pre-shifts, you got to take your manager hat off and put your leader hat on.
hmm
Managers make you want to do, sorry, what is it? Managers make you, tell you what to do, but leaders make you want to do it.
Right.
And it should be inspiring, it should be fun, and it should not be so you know, talking at them. I want to be talking with them in these
100%.
shifts. Yeah.
Yeah, and there should be things during pre-shift that you should be covering as far as training as well, and then checking on them while they're on the floor maybe pulling them aside and coaching them on it while they're on the floor as well. A manager should be doing all these things. Start with the pre-shift. Hey, this is what we're going to work on. Do your mocks, do your role play, ask them some questions, interact, and get them excited. And then also check on those things while they're on their floor. I think a lot of managers go wrong is they think, oh, I mentioned upselling during pre-shift. If
Right.
that's obviously not going to move the needle and increase the sales of the restaurant as much as you would hope for. But what is going to increase sales, if you're overhearing some of the servers, also during pre-shift, you do some mocks with them on upselling and selling, or you add in, teach them how to actually sell a certain dish by asking more questions and monologue, dialogue with the guest. And then you notice them doing it on the floor, you pull them aside and you're like, that was amazing. Let's keep on working on other dishes that you could upsell as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Jess? I think that was a really good, short, sweet rundown of pre-shifts for owners. You good? I'll do my quick outro for them.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add was you definitely have to do some housekeeping in there. Like I don't think
Yeah,
you definitely want to make sure we're doing the covers and what are we 86 and the technical stuff. But
sure,
try to do
sure.
that in the beginning and then
You
get
could
just
also
start
send a
off.
text to the team about that stuff and then also do it really quickly in person. I used to send a text and then they'd all get the descriptions and then I'd tell them we're all doing mocks and you're all gonna have to describe this dish tonight or a random dish tonight and then they're really preparing and on their toes a little bit. In the beginning, don't go too hard with a ton of mocks. I would slowly add more and more, but I think if you haven't done a mock during pre-shift as of today, you've never done one before, I think tomorrow every single server should at least do one mock.
Mhm.
And then you could kind of go from there and play around with it and do certain mocks with certain peoples while they're on the floor, or pull them aside, and so on and so forth.
And
Okay.
really quick, a mock question is not a right or wrong answer. It's how they answer it.
Right.
So when the guest asks the question, it's not just what the answer is, it's how warm am I explaining that? How much am I giving you an
Yeah.
energy about it? So I want you to also be coaching on their volume and their energy and their enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm. Eyebrows up is a good one to teach them if they've never done that. So instead of just smiling, you smile and your eyebrows go up. It's called smizing. Tyra Banks, right? Um,
Whatever.
but thank you all owners for watching. If you do want Jess or myself or both of us to train your team or train you guys, all you have to do is click the link in the description. We all obviously have some options for you. We'll help you increase your average ticket quite a bit. That's what we do. So, if you'd like that, click there. If not, keep watching our videos and learning for free as well. But we'll definitely take it to the next level on those more advanced trainings. Okay. Thank you
Peace.
all. Till next time. Peace.